Hey guys, it's Casey here with another video going over our graphite molds. This one today we're creating a 10-ounce ingot mold with this logo in the bottom. So we already went over the vectors and getting the basic design down with the customer. So this is the shape they were looking for and their logo. A main thing to see here is that the letters are quite large, and that is on purpose because machining graphite and letters can be very difficult, especially when they can become very brittle and break down quickly. So the bigger we can get them, the bolder, the better it will last, and the more detail that will come out of the mold when it's actually used. So we're going to start here by extruding this outside perimeter. So this is normally the basic way we do most of our molds. It's just the base of the design and how it's going to be built. So we're going to use our shape editor here. We're going to start with a plane. So when we have a plane, it'll just bring it straight out. I'm going to start with a 0.4. So we don't really know the volume of this right now. Again, he wants it to be 10 ounces. So when we actually complete the design, we can go back and scale by volume and get the exact volume we want without changing any of our design. So we're going to just start there. It'll get us close. Hit apply. Next thing we're going to do is get this ridge, this rim perimeter in there. So we're going to extrude it with a plane first, maybe 10 thousandths. Let's start with that just to give it a little straight wall edge there. We'll hit apply. And then we're going to use a round to actually give it some shape. So just a nice round rim all the way. Hit apply on that one. So now these are set. If I didn't hit apply, it would just go away. So the next thing we have to do is select all of our letters. Make sure we get all the vectors. We can actually turn these vectors off once we have them selected and actually look at it. So on this one, we're going to use the round feature also, but we're going to change the limit to height. So this will give it a little flat. Instead of all being real bubbly, this will give it a flat. So without that, it looks something like this. You can see how it's the bigger spaces go up further. So when we limit that, it really helps to make the design look nice. And we can even make it more extreme, so it's kind of flatter with a rounded edge, or we can bring it down to where it's less. So we can just pick something. So we'll do that. We'll hit apply. And now we have our basic shape. I like to design in the positive side just so we can see exactly what it would look like when it's poured, and then we can make it negative pretty easily. So the next thing we have to do is get the scale by volume. Got to get out of this first. We can do this, relief, edit, scale by volume. And 1 troy ounce of silver is about 2.96 centimeters. So approximately 3. I like to make them a little larger so that there's extra capacity for the mold. So if it's 3 cubic centimeters times 10, so we're going to do 30. I'm going to do 31. So that it's just a little bit bigger. So when I hit apply, you'll see it shift down a little bit. I'm only doing it in Z. So now it is the volume of 10 ounces, approximately. We can never get it perfect, but we can get very close. So the last thing we have to do is actually make it a negative mold so that we can machine it. So we've got this invert relief, and when I do this, it's actually going to mirror it into the mold so that when they pour the mold, it will come out the correct way. If you forget to do this, it'll come out backwards. It'll look something like this when it's poured, and I confess I've done that several times. So one thing, small thing, but got to remember to do that. So next we'll go on to machining, and we'll see how it comes out at the end. All right, and here we are out in the garage again, getting our safety equipment on, our gloves. We got our safety glasses and a good respirator on. This graphite, we don't want to breathe in, and so we make sure we've got that on when we're running. Then we're going to set up our tools. The first tool we're going to use is a flat end mill. So this is a 3-flute, 1/4 inch flat end mill. Got to make sure everything's real clean. Get everything out of there. There we go. So there's our flat end mill, 1/4 inch. This is just for clearing. It's pretty satisfying to watch. Get that tightened down. These don't have to be torqued down. They just need to be snug. The next one we're going to use here is a 32nd ball end mill, tapered end mill. So this is a pretty detailed mold, so we have to get a pretty small end mill in there. Next, we are going to set up the material. So we've got a nice big piece here. We're actually making 5 of these. So when we do that, I like to set it up right on the edge of the vise so that when I take this one out and put a new one in, we can just hot swap it without having to measure. It's all the same offsets, all the same setup. That's why we can do a little better price on if you buy multiples of molds, because this whole section that we're watching now is not needed when we're doing multiples. So first I'm going to get close to the corner, and then the probe is going to do it by itself, which is real nice. Gets us perfectly on the corner. Well, relatively perfectly. Nothing's actually perfect. So we've got the corner. We're going to move to the center, and we're going to XYZ right there. So now we need to get the tool in there, and we'll start with the first tool. We have to offset the Z height with the first tool only, and then when it tool changes to the second tool, it will automatically measure and do its own offset. So we just have to work with the first tool here. Get a nice touch off. Now we're going to come down in Z and get the height of the piece. So I just like to use a piece of paper. It's about the easiest way to do it. It's not super accurate, but it's plenty for what we're doing here. All right, so now we're going to run the first bit. So this is, again, that 1/4 inch. You'll see our nice entry, nice smooth entry there. And we're just going to work our way around. Graphite machines really nicely, so it kind of makes a mess, but some people think it's a super hard material, but it's really not. We can run about any tooling through it and have no problem. So this is going to take 5 or 6 step downs at about 100 thousandths per step. And we'll speed it up here just to get it going. We're not going to show all of it because it's a decent amount of time to get it done here, but it is fun to watch. I've been doing this for 10 years and it does not get old. I catch myself watching my own videos when I'm going through my own Instagram page. All right, that's enough of that. Now we're going to change tools to the 32nd ball tapered end mill. It's going to measure it on itself, and it'll go right into machining. So here's a nice time lapse. It's going around the perimeter first, and then it hits all of the internal stuff. And I kind of used a different technique here where I just hit the letters because there's just a flat back. So that helps a lot with the cycle time and accuracy of the mold. And you can see some lines in that, but it really will not show up. And lastly, we're going to etch this so that we've got a good marking on the mold. We just recently got a fiber laser, so we can do this with all of our molds moving forward. Camera has a little problem focusing on it, but there we are.
If you've got your own ideas, make sure you contact us on Instagram or send us an email. Also, if you like this video, we'll be making more. Please like and subscribe here on YouTube, and we'll see you later.